Good morning. I am your host, Jennifer Purcell. Living with a Visible Learning Challenge is the name of this podcast. And today we will discuss the challenges and triumphs of those who are neurodivergent living in a neurotypical world that was built for neurotypicals, not neurodivergence. And I hope that this podcast will not only open up your eyes to the challenges that neurodivergents have, but also the ones that maybe neurotypicals have that we can share with you, even if you're not neurodivergent. And also, I have interviews on here with neurodivergent advocates and also with neurotypicals that work with neurodivergence to see how we can interact with each other and how we can embrace our differences and similarities and try to understand each other and come to common grounds and be able to, just kind of help each other live a more harmonious and easier life. Welcome to Living with Invisible Learning Challenges. I'm your host, Jennifer, and I would like to talk about a really personal topic today, and honestly, a little bit vulnerable as well, because I want to take you behind the scenes into something big I'm working on. Sorry, my dogs are barking. I'm gonna switch to my headphones. Maybe that will help. Um, as I was saying, I want to talk about a pretty personal topic today, and that topic is I'm writing a book about neurodivergent life, my experiences, and everything that this podcast has been holding space for, the challenges, the insights, the identity journey, and all the messy parts in between. And I want to talk about why I decided to turn my experience into a book, how I'm using my podcast episodes as building blocks, what the writing process is really like for someone with a neurodivergent brain, and how I'm using AI as part of my creative support system, including turning transcripts of episodes into book chapters. If you're neurodivergent or love someone who is, or you have a story inside you too, this episode is for you. So, why write this book? Because our stories matter, because when you live with a learning challenge, especially an invisible one like NLD or another neurodivergent profile, you grow up feeling misunderstood, misinterpreted, and sometimes mislabeled. For a long time, I wondered, is my experience real if so many people don't see it? I'll repeat that. Is my experience real if so many people don't see it? And I know many of you feel that way too. This book is my way of saying, yes, it's real. And yes, your story deserves space. Mine does too. But the journey hasn't been linear. Surprise, right? Two steps forward, one step back, sometimes three steps back. We talked about that last week. Writing a book as a neurodivergent person is a process. Some days ideas flow, some days executive function taps out. But neurodivergent writing isn't broken. It's associative, intuitive, deep feeling, pattern noticing, story weaving. I'm learning to honor my process rather than fight it. A big piece of this book is using conversations as part of the storytelling. Here's how I use a program to create transcripts of the episodes so every conversation is documented. Then I use AI to rewrite those transcripts into book chapters, keeping the authenticity of the voices while shaping it into something that reads smoothly in written form. This allows me to turn dialogue into story, moments into reflection, and lived experiences into teaching moments. Um, let's talk about AI. Yes, I'm using AI to help me write, not to replace my voice, but to support it. AI helps me organize thoughts, clarify ideas, structure chapters, and polish language. all while keeping my lived experience intact. Using AI and transcripts together allows me to create a mosaic of neurodivergent stories, turning our podcast conversations into a cohesive book readers can engage with. This is accessibility, this is empowerment, this is neurodivergent creativity in action. The emotional journey. Writing this book has stirred up so many emotions: pride, old wounds, gratitude, self doubt, self belief, and a deep sense of purpose. Sometimes I reread a section and think, wow, I lived through that. Then I reflect and look where I am now. If you're on your own creative or healing journey, please hear this. You don't need to feel ready to begin. You just need to be willing to try. Start messy, start imperfect, start scared. Just start. And along those lines, I actually now I'm not using AI as much. I try to keep my own voice in there more often, and I'm doing that by having one of my friends help me um, edit the book and try to keep editing it because I got a little discouraged. I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm not sure it's going to be successful. But if I don't try, I won't know if it's successful or not. So I think that's a good thing um, to try. So I hope that, what do I hope readers will get? I hope this book is simple to help someone feel less alone, to give language for experiences people struggle to describe, to show that neurodivergence isn't a flaw, it's a different way of being, to empower others to own their story the way I'm learning to own mine, and maybe, just maybe, to remind readers that their voice doesn't have to look like everyone else's to be powerful. Thank you for listening and walking alongside me on this journey. I'll keep sharing updates as I go. If you're writing a book or dreaming of it or just trying to tell your story better, know this: you're capable, your voice matters. Support is not a weakness, it's a strength. This is Living with an Invisible Learning Challenge. I'm Jennifer. I'll catch you next time. Hopefully, what you can do with these episodes on this podcast, Living with Invisible Learning Challenge, I would like to challenge you to journal about the episodes and just see what you learn from them. Or you can share about the episodes with your friends and family and see what they can learn from them. And as always, I will post the links to the articles that I use in the description of the podcasts. And please let me know if you know somebody who you think would want to be interviewed on this podcast, or if you yourself would want to be interviewed. Please email me. I have my email on my website, and I also have it pretty much pretty accessible on Facebook and Instagram through messaging as well. So you can get in contact with me in those ways.